Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Saris MHS 2-bike platform rack on our 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. So Saris MHS is a solid dual-mounted bike rack. If you like this design, where you can just mount it to the tires and there's zero frame contact, but you want a little bit of extra stability, that's where the MHS comes in handy. So we'll talk about all those different features, but we're going to focus on our Jeep here today. Main thing is that it is a fit even with our spare tire. The Jeep does have limited clearance issues, so sometimes you need to get an extension piece, but this has features that helps you avoid having to get a hitch extension. Another thing is that this bike rack tilts away. We have this lever, you pull the lever and just let it drop down to a tilt. And you'll want to do this if you want to open up your rear door without having to take your bikes off. Now, with pretty much any bike rack, what's going to happen is you're going to tilt this away and you still come in contact with the bike. So you do have limited rotation here. You may be able to move the pedals, get that out of the way, open up the door further, but then you're going to have contact here with the bike rack. So you don't really have much space. Your best option there is to either get a hitch extension or a swing away extension, which is a whole nother thing, or just not use that feature. So we're gonna lift this up and then it catches into place. And now let's talk about the types of bikes you can carry on this. So there's zero frame contact. So even if you have a carbon fiber frame, or let's say you have a women's bike, children's bike, alternate frame step-through bike, you don't need to get any frame adapters or anything like that. It secures front and rear, but then you also have an extra strap for stability. So we're gonna take the bike off, starting with that strap. You just press that button and that releases it. And then you bring this over to the side. This slides back and forth, so you can keep that out of the way. And then I'll show you how to release that mount. So see this lever here? You just pull that and it's a tight fit, but now it releases from the bike. So once you have that really secured, I have a coworker that said he was worried about pinching the palm of his hand there, so that could be an issue. Compared to other dual mount, like the Thule Helium has it up here, Inno has it here, the Kuat piston has the piston, and this has that lever that you just need to push. Right, there we go. But once that's down, you can then grab your bike and you're ready to hit the trails. So I'm going to leave the bike over here to the side so we can take a closer look at the rack. Notice how sturdy that tray is. You are limited by where that wheel chock is for your front wheel, but it's a solid fit for sure. I do like those straps that slide back and forth as well, and how you can just tilt this all the way down if you need that extra clearance. Your weight capacity is going to be 60 pounds per bike. You have a 53-inch wheelbase, and this can fit up to 5-inch wide tires, so your fat bikes are fine too. Let's put this back on and strap that down so that we can make sure it secures our bikes. Now this is going to be the 2 version. You can have the longer one too if you want to carry around more bikes. There's a very easy add-on which will add a little bit of extra length. But here, measuring from our bumper to the end of the rack, this adds 40.5 inches. So if you have a smaller garage or you're backing into tight spaces, that's a measurement to think of. Another measurement is ground clearance. Ground clearance from the ground to the bottom of the rack is 20.5 inches. Now where you're going to have to be lifting your bikes up and into the rack is 2.5 feet. So that means for those 60-pound bikes, lift them up into the rack. If that's going to be pretty heavy, we also have options here at eTrailer, like ramps that can be at bike racks that have ramps that can be attached. Another option is if you don't plan on going out for a ride, but you want to make this a bit more compact, you can pull this, lift up, and fold into place. And this is great because with your spare tire, you have a first level position. Most cars have it folded all the way up like this. That's not going to work here. So you can just leave it like that and you can still fold it up, be more compact, but you're not hitting your spare tire, which is cool. And the measurement for that is going to be from the bumper to the end of the rack, 26 inches. And with it folded up like this, you can see how it will cover your taillights though. It is a big and bulky rack, so you're gonna kind of see the taillights around it or underneath it. That was something to consider. Now, sometimes we talk about backup cameras. In our case here, you're looking through your rear window anyways. And pretty much that's everything other than the license plate. Even though it's over to this side, it will be a little bit covered. So, thoughts about the Saris MHS. It's a super sturdy rack. It's great because even with a dual wheel mount, you still have the wheel chock and the strap to tighten it down. Downside is it is going to take a little bit more time compared to your other dual wheel mount. I tried the Kuat Piston Pro X on this Jeep, and I really like how this fits with the spare tire. I don't need to have to get a separate extension, which makes it an extra solid, extra sturdy bike rack. So this was a look at the Saris MHS 2-bike platform rack on the 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.